the last about 9, maybe 10 months or so, CNN has been trying to bring up Mr. Farrakhan in his stories. Jake Tapper was one of the first people to mention Farrakhan and Tamika Mallory. And for a few days, CNN made a big deal about it. Now, to be fair, last year or the year before last, MSNBC had went in on Keith Ellison because he was running for the Democratic head. But what happened was Alan Dershowitz, who's a Democrat, threatened the Democratic Party that if Keith Ellison wins, he's going to make sure he take his support and his finances, his financial backing, and he's going to get other Jews to leave because of a Farrakhan connection. Now, as I said in many videos, that there's been this big lie that's been presented about Mr. Farrakhan that's been pushed out there the last 34, 35 years almost. And he said this about Jews, which he didn't. If anybody goes back and listens to that speech, the audio of that speech, read the transcripts, they would know what he said and didn't say. Matter of fact, for the last 30-some years, Farrakhan has said, play that speech in its entirety. Or he said he would be willing to get up and be broadcasted across television. Any Jewish man or woman or reporter that asked him about any of his opinions about Israel, Judaism, he would be more than happy to do it. But they won't. Then there are also Jewish men and women who know Farrakhan, who have broke bread with Farrakhan, who know that the media have lied. But some of them refuse to go out there and say, hey, he didn't say what he said. Because they want him to bow down and do certain things which he refused to do. Now, I stated when I was a little kid, I remember hearing black people in the community, my mother and father included, say that Minister Farrakhan and Nation Islam are anti-white. They making it hard for black folk. They're anti-white supremacy. Now, my mother and father years later would talk about how great Malcolm X was, but I guess the media was different at a certain point in the 70s and 80s. So they learned, we ain't going to shoot them dead like King and Malcolm and them. We're going to kill them with court of public opinion. Now, but the irony is, as I got older and started listening to some of the things he said, because I was curious as a kid. I'm like, did this guy say all this? I said, well, let me see. When I saw him on Donahue, when I saw him on Nightline and 2020 and stuff like that, I'm like, the stuff he said makes sense. Black people should be able to control what goes in that community. Other communities get to do that. He said, play back his speech in its entirety. I mean, if you so confident he's anti-Semite, play what he said in its entirety. But for goddamn 16, 17 years, y'all really had nothing to say about Farrakhan. Every now and then they mention Farrakhan is when they when a black person decides they want to run for office or they speak up for their community. They do the Farrakhan litmus test. A lot of these men and women who are repeating that lie about Farrakhan is anti-Semite wasn't even born, or when they was barely in diapers or out of diapers, or they wasn't paying attention to the news like that. I can sit back and say, hey, 1982, 83, 84, I was paying attention because there was a time in our community where blacks had this pride, this civic pride. There was around that time when Mary Washington ran for mayor and won, and it was a sense of newness in our community. When Reverend Jackson decided he was going to run for president, see, a lot of people forget what was said and why Farrakhan gave that speech. There was members of the Jewish community that was threatening Reverend Jackson's life. People forget. See, this is why I wish they would put out all the old news clips of the shit that was being said in the 80s and 90s by members of the Jewish community. I guess y'all forget And I hope the brothers and sisters in New York remember what was going on in New York during that time. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I know the history of that side of town which I lived on. When Dr. King was assassinated over there, you had a large majority of Jewish businesses over there. I mean, you had black businesses, but a large majority of them was Jewish. And some of the stores were looted, some of them burnt down, some under mysterious circumstances. This is why, to this day, they barely want to talk about it. I remember the stories that my uncles and my father and them would tell me. I had Jewish teachers, and the shit they used to say to us as kids. So when a black person say, "Yo, we know what Farrakhan is talking about," there's a reason why black folks listen to him. Because we had these experiences, and we're not saying, or I'm not saying, that everybody's Jewish is like that. That would be unfair. Because there are Jewish men and women who called out that behavior. There are Jewish men and women who call out the Zionist mindset, or keep yelling anti-Semitism when it's none. But what it is, they don't want anybody, and I repeat, they don't want anybody to criticize the Jewish community. I mean, if you sit back and honestly was to critique them, people would say, "Damn, now I see why Farrakhan like that." And if he did say something like that, we see where it come from, but he didn't. But see, Obama's out of office. The black men and black women of yesterday are older now. They don't have that clout, because whether you like it or not, when Obama got in office, it sort of dismantled the civil organization, the civil rights generation. Because Gen X and the millennials, a lot of us are hardwired different, unfortunately. We don't have that drive or that need to go out there and fight. We just wait for somebody to give it to us, or it is what it is, which is wrong. So they need a boogeyman. Who you pull out? Farrakhan. Of all people, you pull Farrakhan out. But I had told y'all last year, I said the white woman ain't gonna like the idea of a black woman being the spearhead of this women's movement, this new women's movement. But then when a white woman went on that Me Too shit, they made too many white guys, straight or gay, do the perp walk. So they said we got black it up. Let's who can we vilify? Let's vilify black men, but we need somebody else that we hang our hat on. Oh, let's go out to Farrakhan, because Tamika was seen taking a picture with him and talking to her. But she stood her ground so far. Then when Aretha Franklin funeral, they was like, "Why was he at Aretha Franklin?" Don't you realize Aretha known all them cats? Y'all act like in the black community we supposed to just dismiss Farrakhan. Do I agree with everything Brother Miller say? No. Do I know he has a complicated history? Yes. But the myth and lies that he's been out here saying stuff about white folk, no, because if that's the case, why haven't any black person? And I want you to explain this to me. Tell me where a black member of the Nation of Islam has fucked with somebody who's Jewish, done harm to him, or destroyed property. But yet, they call him the Black Hitler. They won't call him nobody else Hitler, but they throw Hitler on him. And the thing is, Farrakhan ain't the only black person they throw the anti-Semitism thing to. They called Oprah Winfrey anti-Semitic at one point. They called Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson. They called quite a few people anti-Semitic if you don't jump when they say jump. Farrakhan even did a speech about it. He said they even called Oprah anti-Semitic. He said, Oprah Winfrey. He said, Oprah. Oprah. Y'all probably seen that video before. You got reporters who obviously have not done their research. They just heard this one. He's anti-Semitic. I know they haven't. You wouldn't catch me defending somebody just because I critiqued our people. If I heard him say something that was hateful, I was like, yo, Brother Minister said something that wasn't right. I can't defend it, can't rationalize it. But I know they lied on this man. I'm sitting there like, wow. This is why me and so many others advocate that blacks, we need our own media. We need to, that's why they didn't want to sell NBC to Cosby, because Cosby would have ownership, they would have control of a news organization. That means the images and news that got put out would totally change. That means you won't give it for one point of view. Nobody's ever questioned a lot of those men and women in media back during that time. Why would they say the things they said? Mike Wallace did a documentary, 1959, around that time, 1960, the Hate They Hate produced. He basically said the black community is being hateful because of the white community, and that wasn't it. He put the black community on the same level as white folk. Barbara Walters did an interview with Farrakhan that she was just nasty with him. It's out on YouTube. Mike Wallace tried it. Farrakhan checked his ass. See what it is? Farrakhan ain't one of them black men that say, "I'm sorry, boss." Now, as I said before, there's some things our brothers and sisters said, like, bro, sis, you went too far. It's kind of, No, they lied on this man. And the thing is, they keep throwing him out there. But what pisses me off is black folk have turned around and started to do that in media. Well, Farrakhan anti-Semitic. Black politics, Farrakhan anti-Semitic. And I'm saying, like, y'all keep pushing this narrative. I've yet to see anybody truly come out and say, nope, that's not true. Now, there's a reason why I bring this up again. Mark Lamont Hill was let go from CNN. And I told y'all, Jeff Zucker, Jewish identified man, he got rid of him. He runs CNN and HLN and whatnot. That's the same dude that got rid of Roland Martin over bullshit. This the same dude that purged CNN of a majority of his black faces. Soledad Bryant, Roland Martin, T.J. Holmes, and many other faces that we saw at CNN, black talking heads, gone. He the one that gave the okay to hire George Zimmerman lawyer. All these racist ass people that be on CNN saying shit about black folk. He the one that said, go get Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley insulted the black community until last year. That white guy spooked his ass. You ain't seen Charles Barkley say too much of anything lately, have you? This is the guy right here. This guy got rid of Mark Lamont Hill. He been wanting to get rid of Mark Lamont Hill because what happened was last month, it came out that Mark Lamont Hill met with Farrakhan a few years back. And he had the Jewish community out there say, get rid of him. Because next synagogue got shot up. They said this is our chance to go after the black community. Remember, midterm elections are coming up. So what did they do? They put out Farrakhan, but they realized Mark Lamont Hill was on a picture or a CD or something. They said, wait a minute, you got Mark Lamont Hill, he's friends with Farrakhan, or as they say, Farrakhan. And then when Mark gave that speech defending Palestine, and to be honest, if you heard the speech, he ain't saying nothing wrong. He called out the hypocrisy of Israel. And and ADL, once ADL like, oh no, he says about Israel, he's an anti-Semite. They use that to get rid of him. But they really wanted to get rid of him when the whole Farrakhan, even though he denounced Farrakhan, which was his karma, they used that. Let me tell you something. I hate to say this, but this is the reason why people don't trust certain members of the Jewish community. Because they cry about shit that isn't there a lot of times. This is why people sit there and say, hey man, you can't work with them. You got to watch your back with them. There's a lot of shit they've done that is questionable. Look at Hollywood. We can talk about how they've taken rap and twisted it and promoted this filth. I call it idiot rap. Turn on the TV. Look how they write black characters. Look at the storylines they give us. But as soon as you call out, you anti-Semitic for just playing it out. I know people say, don't blacks be doing racism? It's totally two different things. If black folks had control of television and music and radio and theater and the newsrooms, and we did, then I could sit there and say, okay, we probably might be doing something like that, but we're not. They got rid of Malcolm Hill because they wanted to, and they hid behind that because they wanted to get rid of him, but with the fair, but they was afraid there was going to be some backlash in the time of it. But he deserves it. He got fired unfairly, but he deserved it. You defending Palestine and them and these other egregious groups, but you dish your own. When you was on that Fox, you thought you was gonna change Bill O'Reilly's mind. You was the token Negro over there. I just see Bill O'Reilly yell at you. You would just get silent. He goes over to CNN. He's over there making jokes about Kanye and them and calling somebody stupid and shit. I'm like, you talk about your people like that. And CNN don't reprimand none of them. ESPN don't reprimand none of them. MSNBC don't reprimand none of them. Fox don't reprimand none of them. But say something about the Jewish community. Yay or nay, you're anti-Semitic. Look what he did to Paul Michael Jackson. He was doing a song defending him. They made him change the damn lyrics and accused him of being an anti-Semite. And there's a reason behind that I can't get into because it'd be too long of a fucking video. I'd be all night trying to explain to some people. But if you have any inkling of the history of your community, you know why. Now, do I feel sorry for Michael Hill? No, I'm not defending Michael Hill. I'm defending Farrakhan because on the Young Turks, they was talking about this and basically saying, why did they fire him? CNN was in the wrong. They know something was up at CNN. They brought up Alan Dershowitz and a few others. But the sister on there say, I'm tired of always, anytime about black person say something about Israel, they making us out to be Farrakhan. Right there what the sister did was wrong. Instead of saying, she could have stopped and said, I'm tired of making black people out to be anti-Semitic. She threw Farrakhan in to try to tell people, well, you know, I have criticism, but we ain't Farrakhan. Farrakhan is an easy target now. And even when black folk think they helping talk about this shit, they throwing the wrong people in the bus. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna give you a task. I want y'all to go out there and go back to I even help you to a certain bit. Go back to 1984 during the Jesse Jackson campaign. I want you to look up all the crap you can find up about it. And you'll understand why Farrakhan gave a speech about the Jewish community and called out some of the behaviors. But while you do that, go listen to read the transcripts and listen to the audio all the way through. And you'll never hear Farrakhan talk about the Jewish community the way he's been reported to the last 35 years or so. We as black Americans got to stop letting them bully us into not supporting or questioning anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Palestinians and Israelis, so-called Israelis, both of them don't need to be over there. Those Jewish men and women left Germany. They left Europe. The Palestinians and them, the Arabs, they know what they originally were. They know who the true Jews are. They know who part of that region. They see what happened is those motherfuckers think they white as well too. And they stabbed us in the fucking back many years ago. And they thought they was going to be over there free and clear. And when white folks said, no, we want to lay claim to this. This is our land. How can you claim Europe and then claim that. You ain't think, and I just sit there like anybody with common sense would know better. But then everybody don't have common sense. But my thing is, Israel is not, is the Israelis, they not angels. Y'all see some of the videos on YouTube and other sites. This is one reason why they want Al Jazeera in America. Because it was the only news station that was showing it all the way through. Russian TV, they showed everything as it truly is. Explain to me why black folks are being murdered over in Israel or being sterilized or pushed out. Why is it videos of them being beat down or you hear them talking about us like calling us all kinds of niggas? Why do you think Netanyahu was so disrespectful to Obama? Then come to find Netanyahu's nephew had some choice words. His brother-in-law had some choice words about Obama and the black community. Just like old boy Vicente Fox, former president of Mexico, had some criticism of black. Everybody can say all the shit they want to say about blacks, especially blacks in America. But then we speak up. You're anti this, you reverse this, you this and that. I don't feel sorry for Lamont Hill, but the thing is, last month he allowed them to punk his ass out. The very people he kowtowed to turn around and say, we gotta let you go. Because he had the audacity to question what was going on in Israel. That's not anti-Semitic. I mean, it's just like the United States. I'm born and raised here, but I got issues with this country. I don't know why people got a problem with people voicing their. I know why. Because y'all want to say y'all want to keep it where it's comfortable for you, where nobody will question anything. This is why I was laughing back during 9/11 when they was talking about or after about people monitoring your phones and tapping your phones and shit. And I said, y'all late. They've been doing that shit for years. No, they haven't. I said, how you think all this stuff about the civil rights movement come out? They just did it, just happened to be doing it. Hell, even conversation with JFK and them were recorded. Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, they monitor. They got listening posts. They have people in your community that you think are your neighbors, usually be law enforcement officials. I remember when Soledad Bryant was still at CNN, she did a special about Dr. King, and they showed the building. They showed that no way that somebody could have got there without anybody seeing. I started to laugh. I said, y'all have no idea. Y'all literally have no idea. If it's proven the fact that the government had something to do with King, which is plausible as well. But when she stepped there and said they could have done it, I said, didn't they got the only black firefighter, they got him out of the way. The black police officer, they got them, they put him on different duty that day. Think about that. And then she showed the roof. I started laughing. I said, man, obviously you ain't seen, this was the reason why they got weight standards in the military. Low crawl up there with a M16 or something. Nobody stayed up and no move. Nobody never freaking know. I was just laughing at the stuff, and then I hear white people saying, they packed us down in the airports. They doing this. Wait a minute. As long as they was doing this shit to us, y'all to give it down. See, the problem is in this country or this world, black folks ain't supposed to point out the hypocrisies y'all enjoy. We not supposed to point out shit that y'all do. And if we do, take their money away from firing them. Mark Lamont Hill ain't anti-Semitic. He far from it. He defend, and to make it so bad, he's the brother that go out there and defend y'all tooth and nail. But nah, he went over there. He saw firsthand what's going on, and he said, "I gotta say something." But me and you and other blacks for years been saying, it's one-sided. But at the same time, we said we ain't gonna run and defend those motherfuckers because when they come over here, they come to our community, they crap on us. You get crapped over in your home country, so you come over here and adopt white supremacist views. Well, he should have just kept his fucking mouth shut and only fucked around and only focused on our people. But the Jewish community, once again, or Jewish politicians or whoever got the money said, hey, Jeff, come on, man, you got to get rid of that nigger. Jeff Zucker got rid of my heel real quick. But you still insist on young Turks. Say, I'm tired of them saying black people anti-Semitic cause of Farrakhan. They're not saying it. They were saying it before. Black folks get scared when they hear that term anti-Semitic. We start to run. Oh God, they gonna call me anti-Jewish. Oh God. Tell me what black folks have done something to somebody because they Jewish. If anything, we've been too friendly with the Jewish community. Y'all see some. This is why I see it and say know your history. Talk to the brothers and sisters in New York during the 1980s and 90s and get back with me. Talk to the brothers and sisters that lived in Chicago on the west side and parts of the south side. Then you get back to me. Don't sit here and pretend like y'all are buddies and pals. And then when one of us criticize somebody in the community, you lump us as anti-Semitic. But to get black folk to stop doing that shit, yeah, he said this, he anti-Semitic. Really? You want to be on TV that bad? You want to be on their good graces that bad? But see, Mark Lamont Hill, this is common. He inferred that Farrakhan was anti-Semitic as well. Now how I feel a few weeks later, now you getting accused of being anti-Semitic, and he ain't say nothing. Just like Farrakhan didn't say nothing that was anti-Semitic. But you got a bitch over there, the young turn, that sister always, saying something. I'm like, man, why are people that afraid? But Mark should never walked into that debate in the first place. Because there's places in Africa that need speaking up for. Or other parts of the globe where black folks are getting their ass handed to them. But he should have been more concerned for what's going on in this country. Black people getting shot down every day. Black people getting denied basic human rights. And yet, he focused on Palestine and Israel, man. Come on, man. But to have that sister over there, the young Turks, sit up there and just, I'm tired of people accusing blacks who criticize Israel as being anti-Semite. They accusing us of being a Farrakhan. Wait a minute. You just played into their hands. The very thing you defended Mark on, y'all say they have the Mark happened to Farrakhan was something similar. You let people accuse him of something that he didn't do or didn't say. They don't realize that's what happened to Farrakhan. But see, they too stupid to go do their research. This is why I say to my young listeners, y'all don't buy everything the media tells you. Just like when y'all started quoting or misquoting things that Cosby supposedly said and done. I'm like, where y'all getting that shit from? The white media. They'll vilify a black person with the quickness. Especially if we ain't kissing ass on following their script. We gotta stop thinking about our community. Stop trying to save everybody else, because I'm telling y'all, those so-called Palestinians, they come to the United States, they come out and make their fucking money, but they practice white supremacy. Do you see anybody come to Mark Lamont's defense? In the black community, we not, because we saying this is common. Because Mark, for a long time, got cocky and arrogant. Remember, he was one of the people that led the charge talking about Bill Cosby. We ain't forget about that. Now you got your nigga moment. So you thought you was free. Where your liberal buddies at, Mark? Where your friends at? They ain't coming to your rescue. You just became a nigga again.